Hi, welcome to 6th grade sewing. My name is Miss Gordon and I'm going to be your teacher for the next 6 weeks. In class, there are some special tools that we use, and it's important that you understand what those tools are used for so we can have a really great sewing experience together. The first tool that we use for every project is thread. The next tool is called a tape measure. I keep the rubber band and the tape measures, and my students keep it on there also to keep it nice and neat. A tape measure is similar to a ruler, but it's malleable, which means it bends. Another measuring tool that we use is a sewing gauge. The sewing gauge is a special tool because it's similar to a ruler, but there's a little attachment that moves. And this is really great for sewing because this helps to give you an exact measurement where you don't have to put your finger, but you have a piece that holds on to it. The next tool we have are called shears. These look like scissors to you, and they're in the same category as scissors, but they're sewing shears. They're a little bit bigger, they have a bigger grip for your hand, they're specially sharpened, and they cut through thicker fabrics. We always walk with our scissors held down. The next tool that we have are pins in a pin cushion. Pins are used to take fabric and hold it down so it's easier to sew with. The next tool is hand sewing needles. A hand sewing needle has one sharp end, and on the other end there's a little loop in there so you could stick your thread through. It's similar to a sewing machine needle, but you don't have to keep it in the machine. You hold it by hand. The next piece of equipment is actually just paper. We sew on paper. This is a great way to practice sewing before we start sewing on our final project. We also have a special fabric that's called muslin. And on the muslin, we have marking pens. These marking pens are really important because instead of using a pen or a Sharpie, which will not wash out of fabric, our marking pens will. So what's neat is we can draw on it, and after a couple minutes, we take the other side and it will help to erase it. Over time, the marker will come out of your pants or your fabric if you decide not to draw on it, and it is washable. This is the same thing, it's just a different color. The next tool is a seam ripper. Seam ripper is really important in sewing. The reason it's important is sometimes when we sew, we make mistakes. That's the only way we learn. So, with the seam ripper, we take and we can open up a seam, which means two pieces of fabric sewn together, and we cut each piece of thread out so we don't ruin our fabric. A seam ripper can be a dangerous tool, so this is an item that needs to be kept in its cap. In sewing, with some projects, we're going to do something called embellishments. And embellishments means that you're adding your own personality to the project. So we use a hot glue gun. We also use something called fun fur. It's actually yarn that you could make a scarf out of for the winter, but we use it to do some fun things with our projects. And one of the other things that we use are buttons. Big buttons or small buttons. Those are the tools that we use in 6th grade. Please come back and look at this again if you feel the need to review. And I'll see you soon. Have a great day.